The night Earth burned, the galaxy celebrated. For decades, humanity had been a growing problem, not because humans possessed the largest fleets, not because they controlled the most territory, not because they held ancient secrets or superior technology. Humanity was dangerous for a far simpler reason. Every time they were knocked down, they stood back up. Every empire in known space understood this truth. The human race had survived ice ages, plagues, world wars, economic collapses, environmental disasters, and near-extinction events. Every catastrophe that should have ended them had instead become another chapter in their history. To older civilizations, it seemed unnatural. Most species sought stability. Humans thrived in chaos. That made them unpredictable, and unpredictability frightened empires. The Coalition of 12 believed they had finally found a solution. If humanity was allowed another century, Earth would become the center of a new galactic power. Human industry was expanding rapidly. Their shipyards produced vessels faster than expected. Their colonies spread through frontier sectors once considered worthless. Worse still, younger civilizations were beginning to admire them. Human engineers solved impossible problems. Human diplomats formed unlikely alliances. Human soldiers earned reputations that bordered on myth. The Coalition decided the future could not be left to chance. So they planned something no civilization had attempted in over 3,000 years. A decapitation strike against an entire species. Not a war, not an invasion, an execution. The attack came without warning. No declaration, no ultimatum, no negotiations. One night, as billions slept beneath Earth's skies, thousands of Coalition warships emerged from hyperspace. Orbital defense networks activated immediately. Too late. The first wave targeted communications. The second destroyed military installations. The third struck power grids, transportation hubs, and industrial centers. Then came the bombardment. Cities vanished beneath oceans of fire. Shockwaves rolled across continents. Satellites became clouds of debris. Entire coastlines disappeared beneath artificial tsunamis. For 14 hours, Earth endured the largest attack in human history. From orbit, the planet looked wounded. Glowing scars stretched across continents. Smoke reached the upper atmosphere. The Coalition commanders watched from their flagships. Many expected resistance. They expected desperate counterattacks. They expected humanity's famous stubbornness. Instead, they saw silence. By dawn, Earth had gone dark. The planet's global networks were gone. Most orbital stations had been destroyed. Nearly every major government had lost contact with one another. The Coalition interpreted the silence as surrender. By sunrise, they transmitted a message across known space. Earth had fallen. Humanity was finished. The galaxy believed them. News spread rapidly. Markets reacted. Governments shifted policies. Allies abandoned treaties. Neighboring powers began dividing future human territories on maps. To everyone watching, the human era had ended. The Coalition withdrew. Why waste resources occupying a corpse? Earth was broken. The species would spend generations recovering, perhaps centuries. No one imagined what was happening beneath the ashes. Because while governments had fallen, humanity remained. Across ruined cities, survivors emerged from shelters. Emergency responders climbed through collapsed buildings. Doctors converted subway tunnels into hospitals. Engineers searched wreckage for usable equipment. Farmers protected food reserves. Teachers gathered children. Neighbors helped neighbors. The attack had shattered infrastructure. It had not shattered people. Within 24 hours, thousands of local networks formed. Within 48 hours, emergency communication systems appeared. Within 1 week, survivors had organized supply chains without waiting for orders. No central authority coordinated the effort. No single leader commanded it. Humanity simply began rebuilding. The same way they always had. One person at a time. One street at a time. one city at a time. Across Earth, a phrase began appearing, painted on walls, broadcast through emergency radios, written on shattered buildings. "We are still here." The words spread faster than any government order. They became a promise, a declaration, a challenge. The coalition received reports, but ignored them. Every destroyed civilization showed signs of survival. That meant nothing. Recovery would take centuries. Their analysts were certain. Their models were precise. Their calculations were flawless. The analysts had forgotten one critical detail. Human beings rarely obey calculations. 3 weeks after the attack, emergency factories reopened. Not because they had been repaired, because humans built new ones from wreckage. Damaged industrial robots were salvaged and reprogrammed. Destroyed vehicles became raw materials. Military manufacturing facilities transformed into reconstruction centers. Millions volunteered. No one waited for permission. The entire planet became a construction site. Every disaster in human history had taught the same lesson. Help is coming. But until it arrives, become the help. Months passed. The galaxy occasionally checked on Earth. The reports became increasingly confusing. Agricultural output was rising. Energy production was returning. Transportation routes were being restored. Human colonies throughout nearby systems were sending resources home. Then something truly alarming happened. Human shipyards resumed operation. Coalition intelligence dismissed the reports as impossible. Earth's orbital infrastructure had been destroyed. The factories no longer existed. Then reconnaissance probes returned images. The humans had not rebuilt the old shipyards. They had constructed larger ones. Around the clock, thousands of workers assembled orbital platforms. Autonomous drones swarmed through space. Asteroid mining operations accelerated. Production lines multiplied. The attack that was supposed to cripple humanity had triggered the largest industrial mobilization in their history. The coalition began to worry. 9 months after Earth's destruction, trade routes reopened. Human cargo vessels crossed neighboring sectors. Economic activity surged. Refugees returned home. Cities expanded. Entire districts were rebuilt with newer technology than before. The ruins were disappearing. In their place stood something unexpected, a stronger Earth. Human engineers had learned from every weakness exposed during the bombardment. Power grids became decentralized. Communications became impossible to fully disable. Factories were distributed across thousands of locations. Orbital defenses expanded dramatically. Every vulnerability the coalition had exploited vanished. The attack had provided humanity with a blueprint, a list of everything that needed improvement, and humans improved all of it. Then came the anniversary. 1 year after Earth was bombed, the Coalition Senate gathered for a routine session. Most expected discussions about trade and border disputes. Instead, emergency alerts filled the chamber. Every screen activated simultaneously. A transmission had arrived. Source identification confirmed it immediately. Earth. Silence spread through the room. The image appeared. Not a ruined world. Not a wounded civilization. Earth. Alive. Brilliant blue oceans. Rebuilt cities. New orbital rings. Massive shipyards glittering in sunlight. The planet looked stronger than before the attack. Then a human representative stepped forward. An older woman with silver hair. Behind her stood workers, engineers, doctors, farmers, teachers, soldiers, ordinary people, the survivors. She spoke calmly. "We received your message 1 year ago." The chamber remained silent. "You believed one night could destroy us." More screens activated. Images appeared from throughout human space. New colonies, new fleets, new industrial worlds. Construction projects of unimaginable scale. The representative continued. "You misunderstood humanity." The coalition delegates watched in horror. Production numbers appeared, fleet statistics, economic growth figures. Every metric exceeded pre-war levels. Humanity had not merely recovered, humanity had expanded. The woman looked directly into the camera. You destroyed our cities. Images of burning skylines appeared. You destroyed our homes. Ruined streets flashed across the screens. You killed millions. The chamber lowered its gaze. Then her voice hardened. But while you spent a year celebrating, the image shifted. Thousands of newly built warships emerged from Earth's orbital shipyards. Then tens of thousands more. Endless formations stretching into darkness. The largest fleet ever assembled by a single civilization. Humanity's fleet. We spent a year rebuilding. The Senate chamber fell completely silent. Every delegate understood the truth. The coalition had made the greatest mistake in galactic history. They had assumed destruction was humanity's weakness. It was humanity's specialty. Humans knew how to survive ruins. They knew how to endure loss. They knew how to rebuild after impossible odds. Because rebuilding was woven into their history, into their culture, into their identity. The representative delivered her final words. You bombed Earth in one night. Behind her, a restored world shined brighter than ever. We rebuilt it in 1 year. The transmission ended. Across the galaxy, billions watched the recording. Many felt fear. Others felt awe. But everyone learned the same lesson. You could defeat humanity in battle. You could destroy their cities. You could burn their worlds. You could knock them to the ground. What you could never do was convince them to stay there. And from that day forward, every civilization remembered the anniversary of Earth's destruction for a different reason. Not as the night humanity almost died, but as the moment the galaxy discovered what humans truly were. Not conquerors, not warriors, not survivors, builders. And builders, given enough time, can remake an entire world.